So one of the things that's fascinating is that there's a lot that we do to actually prepare for worship, and we're going to talk about some of that. But the truth is, the minute a service ends, we have actually, in terms of a wonderful phrase one of our vestry members once came up with, the architecture of time, we have actually already started to move towards the next Sunday.
I'm always struck at the end of the service how much cleanup there is to do, how many bulletins there are tucked in various, books and under cushions, and how many of the kneelers are out of place. And the maintenance guys do an amazing job pulling this space back together. This room can be a beehive of activity, and the clergy find ourselves together in this space at 8:30 on Sunday. We all rendezvous here. There are acolytes coming in and out, and we're getting ready, and the preacher's trying to think about the sermon and all that stuff. And we leap into various jobs. We have marking the readings in the Bible for the readers to do the lessons. We have, putting the ribbons in the right place in the altar book, because while you might think you have some of these chants memorized over time,
you don't.
You don't.
We're all dressed in white robes. The acolytes, the readers, the clergy, we're all just in the same simple white robes. But then clergy add some other things. The first thing that we actually add is a stole, which is what these bands of cloth are called that are draped around our neck. And they are colored to match the seasons of the year. And they actually signify that we have the office of preacher, so that we can, in fact, we have been ordained and privileged to be able to preach the gospel.
And on top of the stole, at the main services, we wear chasubles, which is a fancy word for a Roman poncho.
Right.
It's just what gentlemen would have worn out and about in the early first centuries of after Jesus. And so we have in different colors for the different seasons of the year. Sort of the ordinary chasubles here in this closet. And then locked over in the other closet, we have some of the fancier chasubles
which come out for Easter and Christmas.
The altar guild sacristy is an incredible thing. They have stuff everywhere that we need for worship. The bread.
The wafers are all in there.
We have communion until the end of time.
The wine is kept down there. And then they are so organized. Down here are the frontals. Those are the things that cover the altar. And they are in different colors for different seasons. And they have that marked.
The green.
The green frontals.
That'll go back out soon.
Yep.
And then this incredible collection of linen that have everything we need for the purificators for the chalices, and little purificators for the home communion kits, lavabo towels for the priest hand washing before the Eucharist.
And they're all embroidered with specific crosses. And there are sets where everything will match. Right. The fair linen, the corporal, which is the placemat on which the chalice and the paten are, will also have a cross on it. And the purificators will have a cross on it. And they are all meant to match.
One of my jobs, and that I've inherited from priests before, is making these scorecards. And we call them scorecards because they're like the batting lineup that was on the back of a baseball scorecard. And they have all the players. So we make a scorecard for the 9-10 and for the 11-15. And, there are the roles that the clergy play, but then there are the readers and the prayers and the chalice bearers and the healing prayer ministers and all the other jobs.
But on the back, there's all the real detail about
Everything
what that job's going to entail.
And what's funny is when something goes wrong, which things go wrong, it's always because someone didn't read the scorecard.
That's right. That's right.
When people arrive for worship, it's really clear what you're supposed to be paying attention to.
Yes. It's also a place that kind of holds you. You've got the dark ceiling and the dark pews, and so, and it's in the shape of a boat, as churches are supposed to be. But the truth is that it also can kind of hold you as you prepare for worship.
Yeah.
And I always hope it makes people think, okay, I need to get ready.
Right.
And the getting ready is not, I need to find a page or I need to make sure I know exactly where I am, because actually that's all in the bulletin.
The bulletins have everything.
You don't,
Yeah.
it's right there. You'll need to pick up a hymnal, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But it's about getting ready internally so they can begin to go, okay, I'm here, and kind of drop the shoulders and drop whatever else they need to drop, and actually be here and be ready for the service. And then, of course, the prelude stops, and I walk up into that pulpit and greet everybody, which is a change we made, what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
I'd say 4 or 5 at this point.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
Wow, okay. So every single week, I stand up and I come up into this pulpit and I say, good morning. And wonderfully,
Sometimes people are awake enough to say good morning back.
usually they say good morning back. About 2 or 3 times a year, I have to say, really? You can do better than that. And then I get a pretty good response. And one of the things I love in all the years that I have been doing that welcome, which is the same every week, not once have I been asked by a parishioner to please don't do that. You do it every week. The congregation is really clear. We want to welcome everyone here. When we get up to the altar, the choir, they come in before we do. The clergy come in last. So the choir's here, the lay readers are up here, the adult acolytes are here in these seats at 9:10. There are rafts of acolytes in the baptistry. But before they get there, they stop here.
Yeah.
You know, so we can have a lot of acolytes right here and the clergy here. And you really do feel like we have created this holy circle.
Yeah.
And with the altar at the center of it.
Yeah.
Because all of the folks who are helping to lead worship are up here, and the congregation, which is going to offer worship, which we all do together, is there, and we are all in a circle around this altar. And I always love it when the hymn is long enough that we actually just get to stand here and sing a verse.
Yeah.
You know, and really just be in that space. That's an amazing feeling when we are gathered here.
Yeah. And for those first words after that hymn to be, blessed be God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. It's amazing that we're here together around this altar.